Welcome to BBC News, broadcasting to our viewers in the UK and around the world. I'm Babita Sharma. Now, millions of people across Asia have been witnessing the longest total solar eclipse of the century. It was first observed in India and then moved across to China and the Pacific. Some places were plunged in complete darkness for more than 6.5 minutes as the moon obscured the light of the sun. Well, the BBC's Sanjoy Majinda was one of the lucky few people who got to witness the eclipse from aboard a specially chartered plane. He's back on the ground now and joins us on the line from Delhi Airport. Well, firstly, Sanjoy, you were very lucky. How was it?
Well, indeed, yes, very lucky, and as you can imagine, it was an incredible experience. There were about 40 others, some of whom had to pay up to $1,600 for their privileged window seat on the side facing the sun, and they got to see a sight which many of them said they'd never seen before. There were some people who were on their 8th eclipse watch. One gentleman in his late 70s, it was his 9th time, and he said every single time is as magical as the previous one. As he put it, you learn something new every time.
Sanjoy, describe to us what it is that you saw.
Well, effectively what we saw is as we approached the moment the eclipse began, we could actually see the moon's shadow across the face of the sun till it was completely blacked out. The moment they describe as totality, when all you see is a black, darkened orb with the white crown of the sun peeping around it. An absolutely incredible sight. And as you can imagine, from 41,000 feet above sea level, above the clouds, when everything around you is still and clear, the sky is completely dark. You can see the rest of the galaxy, all the stars. It's an absolutely brilliant sight.
Were people talking around you when you saw the complete eclipse, Sanjoy? What was the mood like there on that plane?
Well, the mood spanned every range of emotion that you can think of. We had people on board who, as I described before, were in their 70s. We had some people as young as 11 who were watching this for the very first time. There were some people who were so awestruck that they were simply silent. Others whooped in delight. There were cheers. A lot of people, of course, had set up their cameras by the window and were trying to take pictures as clearly as they could. And, of course, we were handed out special glasses to wear when we looked at the sun so that your eyes weren't damaged in any way. And some people had put special filters stuck up on the windows as well.
We can sense the excitement in your voice there, Sanjoy. We've been repeatedly saying how it's the longest solar eclipse, lasting more than 6 minutes. How was that length of time for you? Did it seem as if it was such?
It was a very long time. I think also there's that sense of anticipation built up, if you like. For instance, when we took off, we had the captain come over the overhead PA system telling us how long the flight was, and then the cabin lights were dimmed about a couple of minutes ahead of the actual eclipse. And the cabin crew kept sort of counting down, so there was a great sense of anticipation and excitement, almost tension, if you like, among all the various people who were seated around. So it actually seemed a lot longer than the 6.5 minutes you were talking about.
Sanjoy, we saw some shots a little earlier when we were seeing it live in India of hundreds of thousands of people gathered on the ground there. What was the anticipation like before you boarded the plane?
Well, among this lot of people who were on the flight, and there were a mixed bunch of people. Some, as I pointed out, veteran eclipse chasers who were watching this phenomenon for years across the world. There were first-timers, there were amateur photographers, scientists. One gentleman from Germany who said he meant to go to China but was scared away by the swine flu alert and so decided to come to India instead. And we had to wake up at the crack of dawn. The time to report at the airport was 3 a.m. So it was a very, very early start, and despite that, everyone was completely enthused.
Sanjoy, all I want to know is what you did to get that seat on that special chartered flight there.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question? I didn't hear that.
I was just saying, Sanjoy, what was it that you said or did to get that special seat on that plane?
We were the privileged few among the media, the few who didn't actually have to pay for the seat, because of which we were squashed right at the very back, but I can tell you, it didn't matter.
Absolutely. Squashed or not, you're a very lucky man. Sanjoy Majinda there, thank you very much for that, recounting when he saw the total eclipse in India there. Now, in other news, US interest rates